Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Catherine and this is Raspberry Reads. I am filming this in advance. I'm going to be transparent with you. I'm filming this in July, but you won't see this video until September. So I hope you had a nice summer. But this is a tag video. So I was tagged by Daniela at Uncommon Reader, and this is the Get to Know My Book Taste tag. And this was created by Sam at Thoughts on Tomes and Marie at My Name is Marinas. And yeah, I'll just get into it. I haven't really looked at these prompts too much in advance, so as usual, I'm just going to do it off the cuff. So prompt number 1, how do you rate books? Give a quick rundown of how you do your star ratings, or other ratings if you don't use stars. I do use star ratings, and for convenience, I do whole number star ratings. There is an option on Storygraph to do half ratings, but because I mainly use Goodreads, I just stick with the whole stars out of 5. Yeah, and in terms of how I would categorize a book, I hardly ever give a book 1 star. I think I probably would DNF it if it was 1 star. 2 stars is normally if it's highly problematic in some way to me. 3 stars is run-of-the-mill average book, enjoyable but not mind-blowing. 4 is it's a really good book, I would recommend it. And 5 is this is one of the best books I've ever read, it will stay with me forever. Prompt number 2. How do you approach reviewing books? What is your review style? Are you analytical, emotional, casual, or structured? I would say I'm analytical and structured, with a hint of emotional. So I tend to look at the writing, if I enjoyed the writing style, if I enjoyed the characters, if I connected to the characters, so that would be the emotional part. How it made me feel, I guess. I do tend to mention if a book has made me cry or laugh. And otherwise, if it's historical fiction, I look at the quality of the narration and the research that goes into the background history bit. And if it's non-fiction, I look at the quality of the research and the accessibility of it. Otherwise, literary fiction, I'm quite picky about the prose, and it needs to be elegant and lyrical and complex. And conversely, if it's sort of like a thriller or contemporary pulp fiction, I look for ease of read, not overly complicated, big font, that sort of thing. Oh, and I should say for thrillers, ideally I'd like it to not be too predictable. Question 3, what's the book that made you a reader, whether it was your first favorite, or the one that got you hooked, what book started it all? I can't remember. I mean, I read a lot as a child and was read to. The books that stick out in my mind are Nancy Drew books. I did read quite a lot of those as a younger reader, and equally the Dear Diary series and Dear Canada series, which I've mentioned on my channel before. That's what really got me into historical fiction. Question number 4, do you have a genre niche? Are there certain genres that you gravitate toward, or do you read widely across genres? I do read widely across genres, but if I gravitate towards anything, it will be historical fiction, literary fiction, environmental and sustainability nonfiction, and dystopian. Question 5, do you generally prefer character-driven or plot-driven stories? It depends on the genre. I really do like a character-driven novel, but if it's thriller or maybe dystopian, sometimes historical fiction, I'd prefer plot-driven. 6, what's a book you love so much that you don't care if others don't like it? And what's that one book you love enough for everyone? I recently had a conversation with my colleague who said that she didn't like The Hobbit, and The Hobbit is one of my favorite books. So I don't mind that she doesn't like it, it's personal preference. But I love it so much for the both of us. And what's one book you love enough for everyone? I'm stuck on that one a little bit. I'd have to just go with a classic, maybe Winnie the Pooh, let's say. Next one is number 7. What's a book you love so much that if someone doesn't like it, you know their reading tastes don't align? The book or books where a difference of opinion is a strong indicator of a different reading preference. This would be fantasy books and dystopian books, and I don't have specific ones. I've already mentioned The Hobbit, but in general, if I'm talking about a book that I've read to somebody and they're like, "Ooh, no, I don't like sci-fi," or "I don't read fantasy," I can normally get a sense that we just have different reading tastes. Question 8, I enjoy this question. What's in your trash pocket? What books, tropes, or themes that you know are bad, but you love them anyways? I mean, romantasy, the writing is not good. It is not good, but I can't help but like to read them. Equally, pulp thrillers, really poor quality writing, sometimes predictable, but I like them anyways. And otherwise, in terms of tropes or themes, I do like an enemies to lovers theme or trope, and I do also, I think you know are bad but you love them anyways. I think dystopian fits really well for this because dystopian is not good for your mental health. It plays on your mind, but I can't help myself. I just really like the escapism element of dystopian novels. Question 9. Do you have any deal breakers in books? Something that, if present, immediately turns you off from a book? Absolutely. I will give a book a 2-star rating or I'll DNF it if it is problematic in terms of its portrayal of women, if it's got overt racism or other forms of prejudice. Yeah, I've definitely DNF'd books before if they've got kind of a sexist element to them. That really bothers me. Otherwise, any other deal breakers? I think I don't really like poetry. That's the only other thing I can. If a book has a lot of poetry in it, I'm probably not going to read it. Question 10. What's a strong opinion you have about a book released within the last year, whether it's overrated, underrated, or just a take you need to share? I haven't really been keeping track of books published this year, to be honest. I haven't read enough of them to comment on this, but I think Tracy Chevalier's The Glassmaker was published last year, and I do think that that's an underrated book. There's differences of opinion on this, but I really enjoyed it, and I thought she did great research bringing the history of glassmaking in Venice and Murano to life. Question number 11. What do you look for in writing? What makes a book stand out to you? Is it the prose style, themes, voice structure, or something else? Definitely the prose style and the quality of the writing, its elegance, its complexity, its flow. I also look for the complexity of the characters. Question number 12, how do you decide what to read next? Do you plan ahead, mood read, or follow external factors? I follow external factors in the sense that I have a book club, so when that choice comes around, I do prioritize that book. Otherwise, I'm very much a mood reader. Question 13, where do you get inspiration for your booktube content? What sparks your video ideas? Other creators, trends, personal reading experiences? Other creators, very happy to say that I quite enjoy watching other people's channels, and if they are creative in making a new type of video and I think that it would work well on my channel, then I will happily borrow that idea, giving them credit. Otherwise, I just like to try new things. And I don't even really know where they come from. Question 14, if you could make any book go viral right now, what would it be? A book you think deserves more attention and why? A few years ago, I read Still Life by Sarah Winman. That's a fantastic book, and I'd be very happy for that to go viral. And then recently, I listened to Western Lane by Chetna Maru, and I haven't even spoken about it on my channel, but that was such a fantastic book that came out, I think, last year or the year before, and I'd be very happy for that book to go viral because it is just a brilliant lived experience of a Pakistani girl and her coming of age story in the UK. 15 is, what are some booktubers with reading tastes similar to yours? I mean, it's quite diverse. So if we're thinking historical fiction, Brittany at Literarily Smitten, Shelley at Shellyish. Otherwise, Simon at Savage Reads. I think some of the thrillers that he reads would be similar. And maybe Ellen at Ellen Made Book Club, but because I read so diversely, it's kind of hard to pin down people who specifically mirror my interests. And I like that. Oh, I'm sorry, and Jen Campbell as well. A lot of the books she reads, I'm interested in. But yeah, there's no sort of one or two people that whose reading tastes match mine, because my reading taste is quite diverse. And then lastly, tagging. I'm going to have a look through who I've tagged recently, and then I'll just pop a few people in the comments section below. But if you would like to do this tag, then deem yourself tagged. And that just leaves me to say, I hope you're all doing well. Thank you again, Daniela, for tagging me. And I will see you all soon in a new video. Take care. Bye.